right? How hard could she be?
No.
We need 2 tanks.
Perfect.
He knows.
That's true. If you blow shit up, that's cool.
Oh, he just got shot in the face by another Phara.
God damn.
Oh, he got her. Okay. So, I would say maybe a little bit focus fire on the Zar or on the Phara. He got her, but that doesn't mean you'll get a Phara every single time. There's easier targets out there, like that Genji. He definitely needs to be flying a little bit higher. I mean, so look, he killed that Phara, but he actually didn't follow up on it with anything. And this is actually the one drawback to Phara Mercy, is they have poor physical point presence.
He's low.
How did I hit?
Right now.
So I want a bad game. Yes, Root Beer. I want you to have a game where you make a lot of mistakes.
Timing's overrated.
I don't want to say you make a game where you just get destroyed, because then maybe it's hard to get some details, but I definitely like close games. I definitely like games where you lose. Like, if you lose King of the Hill 3-1, that's usually something I can get some good information from. So if I upload a video of one where I felt like I did well, but I want to know what I can do to improve, and you feel like it's too show-offy, would you watch it and message me the feedback, or do you want to watch it on stream? No, I would put everything on stream. I do not have the luxury of watching these videos in my spare time. I already have to do pro reviews. Some good shots. It looks like he has a bit of... I don't know if he's not favoring hovering, but he's definitely having issues hovering already. Oh, you have that perfect shot. Okay, that works.
Good shit. Mercy, we got res? No, don't waste it on me, actually.
You're doing good, you're doing good. One note is that as a Junkrat, the same excitement that I see when I see the back of a Reinhardt shield should excite a Phara. That is just asking to get shot. So you can see he's having a... I don't know if he's trying to maintain low altitude on purpose, but he definitely is... he's not hovering as well as he should be. If you do things perfectly with Phara, you can actually hover indefinitely. So actually, target priority looks to be a thing.
Nice.
Gonna go for the Phara. And it's really hard to hit right below you. Unless you're hitting the ground, then it's easy. That's a good ult. That's a great ult. Oh, yeah. So it looks like the fundamental things I'm already storing in the back of my head on what he or she needs to work on is hovering ability. How tired were you when you did that 24-hour stream that time Kepri hosted you? Not that tired.
Oh, it's the only.
I think I wasted. Fuck.
I can actually pull 24 hours quite easily. So yeah, hovering is still... Oh. So it looks like he edited this video, which is cool. I appreciate the extra effort. But are they at 99%? Oh man, the quality's too low. I can't see what percent that is. Give me the percentage.
I'm coming. Keep retesting. Keep retesting.
Oh, it is 99%. Okay. So I'm assuming he lost that one, right? We see that they just got it back and then they immediately took it back.
Triple tank.
Alright, so this is so... Whoa, this is so cocky. Alright, right.
Triple tank.
To go that way? Holy shit.
He's actually pretty good.
Don't do this. When I talk about bad habits you pick up at low ranks that, you know, will get you killed at high ranks, this is one of them. This is so unbelievably cocky.
Triple tank.
You should have died there.
Jeez, low.
The Pharaoh's still above you. You get her? No. So it definitely looks like you're prioritizing the Phara a little bit. But I believe you have... Do you have hit scan classes?
McCree's low.
Doesn't feel like you have hit scan classes. Wow, she just walked out. Okay, so if you don't have hit scan classes, it is okay to prioritize Phara as a Phara. Right? Someone has to look at her. Might as well be you.
Phara's on top.
They hold down the hover key for too long. Is that what you're noticing?
My ult's ready, boys, and I'm at max energy.
Okay, nice dude.
I'll get the Phara. Phara.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a hovering issue that they're running into.
McCree.
Punch her.
This repairs my.
Okay, you get her.
Very good ult.
What? How?
That's a good ult.
Just used it, damn.
That's a good ult. You die, but that's Pharaoh's ult in a nutshell. Alright, so you edit it so I can see you come back right away. Cool. I appreciate this. Most people don't care, and that's just what I'm used to, so that's fine. Alright, so now you're... Did you say soldier? Alright, so you're soldier now. Going to the high ground, this is the correct call. I don't know if you need to plop that down. Maybe if you're expecting a fight, I understand. Alright, good job.
I'm waiting. When will you use it?
They're just not looking at you.
Ult's ready.
Okay, yeah, as long as you plop that down when you're expecting a fight, that's all.
No.
You are doing more than the 4 bursts that's usually acknowledged in the soldier shooting community.
He's low.
Yeah, you're holding the button down way too long. You want to do the 4 burst method, and at best, you know, 5. But you're definitely getting massive recoil. You turned recoil off on your crosshair, but I don't know how comfortable you are with soldier.
The Phara.
Okay, that's better. You're doing a little bit more burst fire on Phara.
How'd they get to 9?
And I know when you're closer, you want to do just massive burst fire or just straight fire, but still be careful about it.
Okay, this is it.
Are you able to press the fire route mouse button to hover on PC? Yeah, you can just gently tap it.
Damn.
Come on.
Hang in there.
Can you contest it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Fuck.
Whoa!
Oh,
What the fuck with that? 99% again?
Can you contest it? Frick.
Yeah, they're at like 97%.
damn.
Okay, so he goes back to Phara. And Phara is very strong in this map. The other thing, he doesn't use Concussive Blast to mess up the enemy's formation. That's the other big thing I'm seeing.
Up, soldier.
Damn. Mercy, please always stay.
Rude to be as a Phara main, my rule is to hold hover for half a second at a time.
Are they in one spot?
Well, the thing is with Phara, you do have the ability to hover forever. It's just, do you want to or not?
Nice. Reaper's really.
7 to 8.
Right, you shouldn't always do something just because that's what you do. You should know when to hover and know when you need to use hover more. Or you know, use it for getting height, whatnot.
Damn.
Alright, yeah, he edited it again.
90.
Okay. So in the first one, I would say his first round, he had an issue with target priority a little bit.
Yeah, dude. That's a diva.
You're gonna alt here, right? Yeah, good. It looked like a good alt, but whatever. No, so you can knock. Okay, I was about to say you can knock him off. You could have probably got to knock him off with the first one.
Damn, I heal.
Mercy, heal, what the heck?
Heals, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I would say this, you're a little bit too much in the mix. You're a little bit too far in the middle.
Fuck.
The problem with being in the middle, especially this map,
This happens every fucking time.
Damn.
is that
So hard.
you can get surrounded quite easily.
Oh my god, DB.
Very easily, actually.
There we go.
Also, just as a Junkrat or a general Grandmaster player in general, it is difficult to hit Phara when she's dropping.
Actually, don't press.
Quick drops are actually quite difficult to predict. Now, if you drop for too long, too fast for too long, they can predict it. But if you drop for like a half a second, it's actually quite difficult to notice. Also, it's silent. That's something I don't know if many people know. You can still glide a little bit when you're falling, but it's completely silent. So if you get up really high and no one notices you, you can drop on top of them and ult, and they will never hear you coming. Because Phara is one of the 2 classes in the game that deal damage immediately as soon as you press the alt button. You need to abuse that fact. You need to abuse the fact that as soon as you press that, you do probably 600 damage up close. That Lucius to your left.
Hell yeah.
And so just, I would say your accuracy is off a little bit, but that's fine. That'll come in time. I think if you're a little bit more accurate, a lot of these kills would come in and the game would be a lot easier.
Aiming's overrated.
Road's on the left.
This is something I don't think Pharaohs do enough, is just fight on the ground. I know no one wants to do that, but something should be said for shooting, like staying on the ground and fighting.
Don't press. Don't.
What's the other one? Oh, is Reaper. Reaper's the other class that does damage really quick, but he does damage instantly, but it's slower damage. He does, I forget what the damage is, but he does like 600 damage in total over 3 seconds. So what? He would do like 60 damage a second. That's 60 damage a second. I forget what that is.
There's two, but Road cooked them. I mean,
200 damage a second or something.
goddamn.
Not that fast. I don't know what it is. I'd actually have to look up that, but I know he does damage, and you have like a couple. You have like a second and a half to react to Reaper. Phara, if she's right behind you, I don't think you actually get time to react.
99.
This is the shit I'm talking about. Just walk. Yeah.
Can't find a good angle.
Mercy just jumped in front of your bubble.
Okay, ready? Oh, they're all.
Holy shit, you have the patience of a god. There you go. There you go. Props to you for having patience, but remember, you were flying around. A better person would have heard you, and anyone would have shot you in a second at higher rankings. You don't have that luxury of time like you had there. 170 DPS, 510 in total. Okay, that's how Reapers works. Yeah, but remember, Phara, her walking is very loud, and her flying is even louder.
They have a Hanzo?
Yeah. Be careful about this fight. If you know Hook is up, you're in a dangerous spot.
Oh, I'm dead.
I'm down too.
It's a good contest.
So actually what you can do is fly a little bit closer to the middle and force people to come around more on the edges to shoot you.
Timing's overrated.
You got a Mercy now. Did you always? No, you didn't always have a Mercy. There's still someone in the house, you kind of forgot about him.
I killed two.
Yeah,
Focus on the road dog first.
good. Good. I mean, that's a good job. If the Widow's not shooting at you and you can get from an angle she can't see at, then yeah, definitely kill her.
We're still contest.
Seriously.
Nice. Soldier so stay behind.
My ult's almost about ready.
One's ready.
I mean, you're shutting this Widow down.
Timing's overrated.
That's for fucking sure.
She's on the left.
Where's my
Ah, timing's overrated.
You should start looking for a good spot to ult. That was a good spot to ult. Ooh, Widow, get down.
guys don't overextend?
Come back, baby.
Yeah, be careful about flying up there, right? You're very close to the enemy. You're farther away from your team. It's cool if you just pop above these little fences and shoot a couple times. That's great. But you actually, with Phara, the very safe spots for her. Okay, I'm trying to. All right, I like how you changed target priorities. You went to hit something that was a little bit easier. But Phara, one of Phara's greatest strengths is
Fuck.
Okay, let's group up, let's group up.
Alright. You're alone. You gotta get out of there. One of Phara's greatest strengths is being above a choke point. So if let's just say everyone was in here and you were up here or like flying right there, so you can get a really good angle into that doorway. The same is true if you could be over here, right? So when you do take a choke point, you want to press up on it as Phara. Essentially, you want to be back, like back here, not back there, but like in the air over here. So you can shoot above this, that back this way, and you can drop quickly. Or you want to be right up on it so they have no ability to hit you.
I'm old.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're very deep right here. You had a mercy.
Just got
Oh my. Where's
Holding your ult again.
Alright, boys, lock down here. My ult should be ready by the time this is.
That's, yep, I was about to say, going up even higher is dangerous with the Widow in play. Good, knock the Widow down.
point?
I would ult here.
I gotta be alive.
Okay, yeah, you need to... There's so many places you get 2 or 3 kills. At a certain point with Phara's ult,
Heals, please.
Yeah, you need to use your ult.
I just got sniped.
yep, that's the best chance you would have had.
Nice. I'm coming.
Good.
That's it, that's all she wrote.
We almost pulled it off.
71 kills.
I got. I ended up with 51.
So, sure, you got it. We'll watch it.
I don't want to be healed next game.
This is where you got away with murder. %70 kill participation. That's pretty good. But not good enough. So, just from...
Aiming's overrated.
just play more for your accuracy. You're missing a lot of shots. But that comes in time. And I'm kind of judgmental because I'm a Quake player. So rocket launcher is kind of like my bread and butter. But don't worry too much about it, but your accuracy can definitely improve. Your hovering ability, you need to work on. On a couple maps, you had a lot of difficulties hovering. In fact, you couldn't hover. It looked like you used up too much fuel every time you pressed the button. So instead of like just you were holding it for a little bit too long. Because with the ever since the 35% mobility change from Phara, that was back in like November, she has the ability to constantly hover. Your positioning. Now, while you are high up in the air, the good point is you're farther away from people, so most classes will have damage fall off on you. So Soldier, McCree, if you're high enough up, they actually can't do shit. Like if you're shooting them from orbit, they can hurt you, but fall off damage will negate a lot of it. But you're actually flying pretty low. You're definitely a low flyer, and that actually comes from the hovering. A lot of the time you were actually a low flyer. Now, maps such as, I forget the map name, but where there's that center circle, there's the 2 fences. Flying too high there is just very risky because there's a lot of open space. What about your positioning? I briefly talked about it in the video, where when someone's stuck on the other side of a choke point, you can either press right up on it or farther away on it. So on the map where there was... What is it? this. There's that. There's the circle point. There's the fence this way, fence that way, fence this way, fence this way. Goes like that, like that, like that, like that, something like that. Entrances here and there and there. Pop, pop, pop. Something like that. You either want to be here or like back here. But I would. This area is rough. You can be on the high ground, or yeah, you want to be on the high. The high ground is one option. It depends which way you're looking. The high ground right above their choke, that's another place you can be. But when you're back here, you can get rockets in pretty deep, like all the way back here. And if you're up here, you can get rockets in right here as they try to get in, but they have no ability to shoot you. So that type of positioning. And I noticed you in this area a little bit, and you were pressing up on a Widow, which is... I know Phararas can do that, but man, it's risky as shit, especially at the higher levels. Watch for the middle ground. Be careful of the middle ground. That's all I'm going to say on that positioning. Oh, also, action. And actually, you know what? We'll put it in logistics. Is... Conch Blast. You used it mainly when you engaged. You used it as an escaping device. Disrupt formation. Or basically split teams. Force an enemy to engage. Right? It's almost like a May wall. If you can get behind one person, you can push 5 players back, put 1 player into your 6. You can kill that 1 player, and it's kind of just like a really big advantage. That's something I would definitely start attempting to use. Information-wise, I guess it's... Phara is loud, and you're getting away with it. As you get higher and higher in the ranks, people will hear you sneaking around them with thrusters. Thrusters is actually incredibly loud. Yeah. So don't get used to being all sneaky flying behind people. Even walking, Phara does it quite loud. She wears high heels. She's just as loud as Widow, which is incredibly loud. I don't know if it's as loud as Mercy's heels. But yeah, but Widow heels are louder than her gunshots. And Phara's heels are just as loud as Widow's. So those are like all the nitpicky things. What is the thread that I think you're lacking? And I think I would point that at positioning. So this is the one thing I would say for you to be corrected on. And it would be this pretty trashy drawing over here on my left side. You're positioning a lot. Like, whenever you hit this greedy area, you usually back out. You never once push up and just, like, own a choke point from above. You're usually back here, and you're usually flying toward... Actually, most points, I think you mainly spent it in this square. Like, if you think any point, like, you're thinking, like, towards their half of the point. You have to be wary of this. The reason why you have to be wary is because if they have tanks and they're doing their job properly, they're defending the rest of their team from here. Also, since you're closer, you're taking less fall-off damage. Well, you're taking more fall-off damage. I don't know how to put it. You're taking more damage because they're receiving less fall-off, right? And the people that are back here are shooting at you just straight up, and they're protected by their tanks, so they can just get free shots on you. You're making it too easy on the enemy because of your position. Your position is a little bit too greedy. I know you didn't have. I know you had a mercy, but she wasn't on you that much, and that really helps Phara. So being Phara without a mercy is tough sometimes. I get that. But it was mainly on Academy that I remember you doing. Yeah, this is Academy. This is okay position. But notice how you're going to go across the borderline. I think you do it pretty soon. Yeah, see here you are encroaching on it and you get hooked. Right? And then you use that concussive blast to disengage. And that's kind of like the method. I think this is the pattern. These are the habits you're ingraining into yourself right now. Is that you'll sit back here, you'll poke a little bit, and then you're going to push forward. And when they catch you, because you're too far forward, you're in concussive blast back. I think I saw that a number of times. So if you had hover, if you could hover better, you'd be a little bit higher. Which just makes you a little bit less vulnerable to this Genji that's, you know, jumping around and the hook and just everyone in general. That's an okay conk blast. You probably saved your own life there. This is good. This is all good stuff. Also, you should watch the kill feed and notice when hit scans die and you have opportunities to kill people.
2 on the right.
60.
Yeah, and that would right here was also a part with your hover. You could have stayed in the air and not gotten killed that first time. And Phara's DPS is actually kind of slow. Against 200 hit point targets, Phara does pretty well. But like against a 600 hit point target, you would have to hit 5 shots in a row. Phara shoots every 1 second, and she does 120 damage with each shot. That's direct hit.
Alright. Ult's ready.
Yeah, I think this is...
Ready with that.
You kind of have this habit. Now, yeah, I see you're going to be a little bit greedy here. Most people would hear you. And that's fine. That's...
Good shit. Mercy, we got res? No, don't waste it on me, actually.
Phara can't resist a Graviton Surge. It's her biggest temptation.
Oh shit, okay.
So if you were able to fly up pretty high, even higher than this, if you're even higher than this, that's where they have a really hard time looking up. Because the angle they have to get to shoot you is close enough for them to get shot by other allies if you're quite high up. Now this is a point where you can use Concussive Blast. Okay, there, perfect. That, I think I missed that the first time, but that's definitely what you want to do more often. I think I saw that too little. But this is the type of positioning, like you're beyond that 50% threshold.
Road dog behind us. Nigga, go in.
Nice.
Yeah, you definitely need to get in the air a little bit more. This is good. You got a little bit of help from that Phara. But yeah, that's the general gist of what I would have to say about you. Whenever there's a point of... I'm not saying don't ever do it, but watch the 50% line. Avoid this. I'm not saying, like, don't go in it at all, but try to avoid it. You're good here. This is good. This is bad. And if you do take the point, this is good. Because the choke point's probably going to be right here, and they have to get really, really close to you. That's actually what I'd fix. Your action will come in time. The concussive blast usage, I mean, it looks like you're doing it correctly. You're just not doing it enough, and that's just me asking you to do it more. That's a super simple change. The hovering skill is what I would work on, and your positioning. And those go hand in hand with Phara. So that's definitely the thing I want you to do. Work on your hover so you can hover indefinitely. That's a very easy skill you can work on. You can actually just go to the training room and do that. Once you get comfortable with that, you know, add in shooting. And then once you're comfortable hovering and shooting, then, you know, you're good to go. I think that's all I'd have to say about this review. Is there any questions? Any from the fucking peanut gallery? Grade, you're out of here. Good night, man. Thanks for stopping by.